Two campsites. Two nights everyone thought would be ordinary. One deep in the Great Smoky Mountains, and another along the Blue Ridge Parkway near Asheville. We didn't know that in both places, numbers themselves would betray us. A lantern that refused to die, and a trail that counted but never finished. Our proof still exists, but it never explains why. The recordings only tell you what we heard, not what followed us. Back to the Smokies. Midnight. The creek below Big Creek Campground was moving slow, like it too was holding its breath. I'd just zipped my tent when I noticed the old lantern outside wouldn't stay dead. I twisted the valve, killed the flame, and the second I turned, the light popped back. Brighter, hotter. I shut it again. It laughed back at me with fire. The worst part? My phone camera meter didn't agree with my eyes. At 1:47 a.m., the spike leapt from 6 straight to 8. 7 just wasn't there. No flicker, no glitch, just gone. I replayed the clip. The video skipped, the frame jumped, and for a split second, the lantern's glow froze the whole creek bank in bone-white light. My buddy cursed. It wasn't just a glitch. His battery monitor spiked the same second mine did. Both devices skipped. We sat there, watching that flame pulse like a heartbeat. Every time I killed it, it came back, stronger, like it needed to be alive. By 2 o'clock, I stopped touching it. I just stared, waiting for dawn. But the dawn never came the way it should have. The first light in the trees wasn't the sun. It was still the lantern. Burning, flickering, refusing to give up. By 3 a.m., I couldn't tell if the night had moved forward at all. The lantern kept throwing that bone-white glow across the creek. Every time the wind shifted, I thought I heard voices in it. Not words, just counting. I pulled the clip again, scrolling frame by frame. On the timeline, the light meter jumped 6, then 8, 7 just vanished. My buddy leaned in, his face pale in the glow. It's not just your phone. My counter did the same thing. I wanted to laugh it off, but my throat stayed tight. Out here in the Great Smoky Mountains, a skipped number felt like something bigger than tech. What kind of forest erases a digit? What kind of night needs that space empty? At 3:15, the flame pulsed hard enough to hum. The trees shimmered like heat waves were rolling through them. My friend tried recording audio. Static ate half the file. The rest carried the sound of breathing, not ours. He slammed the recorder shut. I don't want to hear that again. We sat in silence. Just the creak, the hiss of gas, and a number that never came back. When I finally blinked, the lantern's glass looked warped, like something inside it was pressing out. At 4 o'clock, the glow dimmed for the first time. I thought it had finally died. But when it came back, it lit only half the campsite. The other half stayed black, like the light refused to touch it. Dawn was overdue. The birds didn't call. The creek didn't rise. When we stepped outside the tent, the lantern was gone. No shards, no glass, just a perfect circle of scorched ground where it had stood. My buddy whispered, "Check your phone." The clip was still there. 6, 8, no 7. And then, after that frame, only static. Just off the Blue Ridge Parkway near Asheville, we thought it would be an easy night hike back to camp. The trail was lit only by our headlamps, the air wet with mist. At first, it was just footsteps on gravel. Ours, nothing else. Then, faint at first, like it came from behind the trees, someone started counting. 1, 2, 3. My buddy swung his light, but the woods stayed empty. The voice didn't stop. It followed our rhythm. At 12:43 a.m., I pulled my recorder. The voice synced perfectly with each step. 7, 8, then silence. No 9, The next word came flat, heavy. 10. My skin crawled. It wasn't a joke. The clip kept playing back wrong. 7, 8, 10. Over and over. No stumble, no glitch, just erased. My friend whispered, "Maybe it's someone up the ridge." But every time we stopped, the counting stopped too. And when we moved, it moved, always one beat behind. The Blue Ridge was silent that night. No crickets, no wind, just us, and a number that never came. I felt like the forest wanted us to notice the gap, wanted us to hear the hole where 9 should have lived. At 1 o'clock, the trail narrowed between 2 stone outcrops. The counting pressed closer. I swear I felt breath at my neck. My buddy hissed, "Don't look back!" But the recording didn't care. It captured something we couldn't see. A cadence that belonged to no one we knew. By then, I wasn't hiking anymore. I was listening, waiting for 9, waiting for the forest to finish what it started. By 1:20 a.m., the Blue Ridge Parkway looked endless, each bend darker than the last. The counting never slipped out of sync. 7, 8, silence. Then 10. Always one missing. My buddy's hands shook as he held the recorder. Maybe it's the trees echoing us. But the voice didn't echo, it answered. And the gap where 9 should have been was louder than the rest. Like the woods were swallowing that number whole. At 1:47, we reached the old wooden bridge over the creek. The steps hollowed under our boots, but the counting kept solid. Each plank groaned in rhythm, but one was skipped, silent, just like the word. The recording captured it clear. 7, 8, 10. That was when we realized the voice wasn't behind us anymore. It was beneath us, rising through the boards, moving with the water. My chest locked up. My buddy froze. Neither of us wanted to step again. We tried to turn back, but the trail behind looked longer than when we came. Our headlamps flickered, meters spiked. I replayed the clip, and every time the gap grew wider. 6, 7, 8, 11. Now 10 was gone too. The last thing the recorder caught was us running. Heavy breaths, gravel scattering, and the voice counting without us. Faster, offbeat, skipping numbers we hadn't even reached yet. Dawn cracked pale over Asheville. I made it back to camp alone. My buddy's tent was zipped, but he never came back. On his cot lay the recorder. Its screen glitched, frozen on a timestamp. 1:57 a.m. The final playback bled into static. Then, clearer than anything we'd heard all night, 12. And nothing after.